somebody did that intentionally. I think
Right.
that's where I get lost. It's the they part. But other
Right.
than that, I agree with energies. I think that it's out there. Um,
I
I
don't know why people won't accept that there's other life. I don't like even
see.
they there's even though there's proof. I mean, we have actual physical and we have proof that there's
Mhm.
other life forms.
Well,
And it's
again,
like we are so we are
I
our
agree with
species.
energies. I think that it's out there.
Hold on.
All right, my fault. Go, finish that thought, Night.
Our energy our we are so what's the word arrogant to the
Mm.
point that and we've been taught and it has been ingrained in us for so long that we are the top of the food chain,
Mm,
but we're
mm.
not. we're, we're,
Now,
we're
now, now,
absolutely not.
oddly enough, and I know we wind in this conversation now, so we can get started. But
Right.
oddly enough, Night, I don't hear a lot of people saying that they don't believe that other life forms exist. I don't hear a lot of people saying that.
Well
I
then,
think
well, let me ask you this then why wouldn't if right then why if so why if if
other life forms
we aren't the
exist.
only if we aren't the only species,
Hmm.
then what makes people think that we are the smartest or makes think people think that this other species that come to our planet aren't thousands if not millions of years ahead of us in technology.
See now again, to say that I believe that other life forms exist is one thing, versus saying that I believe that we've interacted with them enough to get technology and all of that kind of stuff. Then I would go back. That's when I would fall back to, okay, you gotta. I personally would need a little more to go along with that. You know what I mean? I would need a little more to.
I could we have to do a show. We got to do a show on let's get started.
Okay,
But
good
let's
enough
let's let, let's make it a plan to do a show
to double back on that.
and that I can present all my evidence and all of my the stuff that I actually have
Okay,
and try to see if I can. It's
okay,
not up to me to persuade
right. I
you,
got you. Yeah,
but
I
but
understand. But
you
just
know,
show me what you have.
right.
Okay.
All right. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Real Brothers for the Real World. My name is TL, and that's my man Stace,
What's up,
and
y'all?
we are Real Brothers. Welcome to our digital neighborhood. We hope that we can engage you guys. I know a lot of y'all are watching the game tonight,
Oh, I was gonna ask you
uh,
about that.
but y'all
For
can
what
catch
night?
us
Why are you
on the
watching the
replay.
game? No.
Right?
Why are you watching the game
Yeah,
when you
when
be
you the
watching Real
game.
Brothers?
Come on, man. Real Brothers is on.
Yeah, ain't nothing but
All
the
right.
playoffs, man. Come on.
Hey, Black, what we talking about tonight anyway?
All right, Nike. We got a couple good ones. First of all, y'all, welcome to the digital neighborhood. Like TL said, we are the Real Brothers. We hope you'll join us at some point or halftime. Get on and let us know who's winning and whatnot.
Yeah.
We're gonna put the link out there while I'm speaking, which is customary. So we hope that you will click on the link and join us with the conversations that we have. We have a couple, and I'm gonna run them down now. The first one was a layover from last week. We got caught up in the random and didn't get to address it, and that is what is actual truth. And then we have financial strategies to protect your marriage. We have what are you willing to do, and lastly we have if you die today. Those are the four topics there. So, like you said, the link is out there. We hope that you'll click on the link and join us. A couple people said a few things on the in the group chat, and I forget her name. A couple people we were talking to. I hope that they'll take this opportunity to join us, man, because we would like to get those opinions. All right, before we go, now you have any randoms, man?
I don't have a random, but I do have a comment on or actually it's just a clarification. I have been catching a lot of not grief,
Hey there, Kim.
but I have
Uh-oh.
been
What's up, Shice?
having a lot of conversation about some something that I stated, and I think it was misinterpreted, or I stated it incorrectly.
What was it, Knight?
It was the fact that I said that I don't believe in religion, right? And I don't believe in religion, but I believe in spirituality.
Mm.
That is kind of not true. It's true to a certain extent. I don't believe in man the way man
Organized.
practices religion, right? I believe that there's only one God,
Okay.
one creator, one
Right.
all in all, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And I believe that there is there's only darkness and light, right?
Mm.
And there's multiple ways in order to get to that light, right?
Okay. Okay.
My belief, and this is just my belief, and
Of
I'm
course.
just trying to
It's your
clarify,
opinion. Right.
clear
Right.
it up, that God is a consciousness, right?
Okay.
His we are here, this universe is here because of God's consciousness.
Right.
And we are strands of that consciousness, right?
Right.
And each person is experiencing that experience for God, right?
For God.
For God.
Okay.
It's like, oh, okay, it's like, take your brain for instance, right? There's a theory that says, so as above, so below, which
Okay.
means like, so just imagine your brain is sitting in this dark room, right?
Okay.
It can't see, it can't smell,
Mm.
it can't feel, it can't taste. We have senses and we have other organs that do that stuff. We collect
Right.
data and we
Right.
send that data back to our brain so it can make a picture, so it can, so it can tell us what we're doing. And that's all that we are.
Right.
We are extensions of a whole consciousness.
So you're saying that is your belief? I mean,
That is my belief. Yeah.
versus choosing, like, and I think somebody said it. And I couldn't figure out who it was. Agnostic. And I, you're right. And I think I kind of, if anything, I think that now I say I'm a Christian,
but not in a religious sense.
Well, yeah. Well, personally, I'm a Christian, but I think that there are some things, but I do question some things, put it that way. I'm a Christian, but I do have questions. And I do believe, and the reason that I say that is because I think that my way of thinking, that practice or that belief system fits better into where I think I am as far as my relationship with the higher being or what have you.
Okay. And let me comment on that, because somebody asked, what do you think about the Bible? All right. So and I say this to a lot of Christians, right? There's some things in the Bible that are true, and there's some things in the Bible that are patently false. The Bible gets most of its stories from the Emerald Tablets. And I just finished a book on the Emerald Tablets. I actually finished this book today. But what I'm saying is, when you ask a Christian, like, Christians base their whole...
Wait a minute. Is this your opinion on what the person question was? What do you think about the Bible?
And I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Christians base their whole afterlife existence on the Bible, right? But most Christians haven't even read the whole Bible. You understand what I'm saying? So how do you faithfully base your how do you faithfully base your existence or your afterlife on a book that you haven't even studied, you haven't even read. You get what I
I mean,
mean?
well, yeah. See, now I'll say this, Night. Most people haven't read any of those books in their entirety. Most people haven't. But what
Right.
happens
Well,
is,
that's what I'm saying. So
so
how
listen to this
can you?
though. Wait a minute, let me finish the thought.
Mhm.
But what happens is, you go to church, you get with the people, the people that have like ideas or like practices, and you that's like almost like school, almost like Sunday school, or that's what church is. They pick a
Right.
Bible, pick something, or teaching in the Bible, and you learn from that. But also, most people know the principles of the Bible, though. So you might not know all of the stories, but most people know the principles of the. And they're basic truths, though. Night, treat people, don't kill, treat people the way that they're supposed to be treated. There's certain principles
Okay.
that you're supposed to live by,
All right. The
rather than
Bible
knowing
said
all of the
the
stories of
Bible
the
is so
Bible. But do you
contradictory.
understand what I'm saying, though, Night?
I do understand what you're saying. But
Right. So
the thing
so
that I'm saying is that the Bible is so contradictory because it was written by men. First of all, that's the first fault with it. First of all, wait, let me finish. Um, it was written after the years and eon, like hundreds and thousands of years after the actual events
Mhm.
that they're chronicling took place. There was a pope. There was a pope and a Caesar in Rome who created the Council of Nicaea
We getting
in the
technical, Night.
300s. Wait a minute, in the
No.
300s, that put the Bible together. They didn't use all of the books that they were supposed to use in order to put the Bible. They took out so much
But Night,
stuff
listen. Okay,
out
let
of
me.
the
Okay,
Bible.
Night. Let me ask you, because we don't want this to become because neither one of us are theologians. So that but
I'm not a
my question.
theologian, but
No,
I
so
know the
listen.
Bible.
No, but
I'm not a
listen though. No,
I
no, no.
don't
Well,
claim to be
you
a
said
theologian.
you don't know the Bible. You know what you read. So listen to this though. But I asked you, and listen. I asked you. I said most people don't know the entire book of any religion, but they know certain tenets that guide your life. Because the Bible is based off of a lot of different stories. So with that being said, is it possible? And this is the question: is it possible though that you can conduct your life based on the tenets of the Bible that you know, without knowing every single story that is within that book? Is that possible though?
It's possible. It's
Right. That's what
possible.
I'm saying. So regardless
It's
of,
possible, but not likely. And I'm gonna
I
tell
mean,
you why.
but you just said though, you said earlier, how can you base your life on the Bible that you haven't read the whole book of? And what I'm saying, as you just agreed to also, it's not necessary to have read the book from cover to cover. It's not necessary to have read that book from cover to cover and live a Christian life, because
Well, how
that
can you
Christian
live a
belief is
Christian life
based on,
if you don't know what's in the book that you believe in?
because
I don't
again,
understand that.
and I'm gonna answer that, because I think you understand the certain tenets that book is based on, and
But
you
where you
go to
get those
church.
tenets if you haven't read it?
I mean, well, that's the learning process. You go to church, I mean, and you do some reading. But again, you have a certain understanding of what those tenets are. No, you
How
don't
can
think
you
that's possible.
understand? But that's my point, Stacy. How can you understand something that you haven't read?
But you go the same way that we learn things from a teacher. You go, you go to school, you go to church. There's certain lessons, you do some reading. So again, it's all of the above. You can still have an understanding of those tenets. No, you disagree with that.
Now, I would just me personally, I wouldn't base my entire existence on something that I haven't studied in detail. I want me personally, I would seek the knowledge to know what I'm getting myself into.
Right,
And
right.
that's
I
just
mean,
me.
I get it, and I'm not saying that's a negative, but I'm just saying. I mean, again, most people that say that they're living a whatever life haven't read those books from cover to cover. I just don't think they have. And Miss Stevens said, "Hold up, what did she say? The same way we form opinions. What did she say?
Uh-oh.
The same way we form opinions.
live our lives,
live our
etc.
lives, etc. Right, right. You know, I think that happened. Now, what does the next person say?
I think that was Shice. Wait a minute.
True,
He
Stacy.
says
True,
it's
Stacy.
teachings, proverbs, allegories, and prophecies that will guide and enhance your life.
Guide. Right, right. You know, most
Right.
people haven't read any of them from cover to cover. I mean, I'm sure that before you got to this point,
But don't
where
you
are
think
now,
that's lazy and irresponsible to base your whole existence on something that you haven't even looked into?
well, no. I don't think it's lazy. I just think that again, I can see if you're saying, you know, going through life, this journey of life, you're always seeking. So you might pick a chapter. You have a question. You pick the chapter and read that as it relates to the Bible. Again, it's almost you using it as a resource. It's almost like an encyclopedia. I got a
Right.
question about money. So I
Right.
looked that up in the back of the book in the table of contents. Then I read what the Bible says about money. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't think that
It
you
says give your money to the church, right?
no
Hey,
no.
The word is free. The
Huh?
word is free for all who seek it. The
Right,
light
right.
is free for all who seek it.
Right.
So you don't
I
have
agree
to
with
go
that.
to church. You don't have to pay your money to the church
But
because
that's not all it says, though, Nike. No.
it's not all.
When you
I
talk
didn't say
about
that's all. I
tithing, it
didn't
talks
say
about
that's
a
all it
percentage.
says.
But you
And
said
then
it says
somebody
give your
said-
money to
somebody
the church.
I didn't say that's all it says.
Okay.
It says you would know to murder someone is wrong without reading it from the book, right? I'm gonna give
Do
you
you
an
agree?
example
No,
about
no,
that.
that was a question to you, though, Nike.
I'm gonna give you an example about that. So, it says murder is wrong, right?
Right.
But okay, and I forget. I think it's I forget which book it is.
It
Like
doesn't-
I'm
it
not a
doesn't important.
theologian,
Right, right.
but it says in the book, "Thou shalt not kill." I know
Right,
that's in
right.
there, right?
Right.
But then if you go to, and I know where this is in Ephesians, it says, "Go to." They were sent. He sent. He sent. I forget which army into Babylon, I believe.
Right.
And he said, "Kill everybody." They were instructed to kill everybody: women, children, infants, animals, everybody. So
Right.
how can that book say in one part, "Don't kill," but then in another part say to go slaughter the whole
Yeah. See, now,
village?
you know what? Now I'm going to say this,
Just
but again,
saying,
as a
it's in
person,
there.
okay, listen to this, though. As a person that is not steeped in the quote unquote word, I don't know the answer to that because, again, everything is in content, though, Nike. I mean, you know, when a person, you know, when somebody is praying to a false prophecy, there were consequences for those types of crimes, and sometimes it might have been, you know, it might have caused for death. But again, I can't address that question that you just said because I'm not steeped in the word. But my answer to
Well,
that.
all my Christians that's listening,
But listen,
look
let
up
me finish the
Ephesians
statement.
and
Let me finish
hit
the
us
statement,
up.
though. Let me finish this. Okay, yep. If someone knows, my response to that though, Nike, would say I would have to hear how that story in content. Why was
You're a
that
Christian.
command
Why don't you
sit
look
down?
it up?
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, right. You're right. Somebody,
You
well,
talking
you
about
just
you got
said
to
that.
hear it. Look it up
No,
for
no, no.
yourself.
But
That's
I'm
what
not
I'm
gonna do
talking
it now,
about. That's
Nike. I can't-
exactly what
no,
I'm talking about.
Nike, I can't do that right now, and that's not a question that I have right now. So no. But
You
anyway,
heathen.
all
All
right,
right.
yeah,
All right, man.
all
All
right.
right.
That
All
wasn't
right,
even a random.
let's get back to the
Hey,
to
I
the
had a
topics,
random
man.
though, Nike. I
All
had
right,
a
go ahead,
random.
go ahead. Hit it.
My random is important. All right, listen, Nike. This is my random. You know,
Go ahead.
what are fighting words? What are fighting words? And this is the reason that I say this. I was at my place of business, my job, and a dude walked through. I'm gonna try to truncate it, make it as short as possible. Dude walked by me, right? And I'm standing in the door, minding my own business. Dude walked by me, turned around to me, and looked at me and said, "Did you say something?" And I just looked at him. I said, "Huh?" And he said, "Did you say something?" And I said, "No, I didn't say anything." And he was like, "Oh, because I thought you said something," and walked away. Now, and I was a little confused, but a little later, Nike, it bothered me. It got under my skin because I
Did you
felt
say something?
no, I didn't say anything. I didn't say
Then why
anything.
did it get under your skin?
No, but this is the thing, Nike. Now listen to this though. and we both know the old TL and the old Stace,
He
it
don't
would have been
exist
what?
anymore. Yeah,
No,
I
know,
understand.
but
I
what would the
understand.
response have been? What? Who you
Yeah,
talking
it
to?
would have been a grit down, and you know what I
Over
mean.
stupid
Somebody
stuff.
that got punched in the mouth or something.
Over
Yeah,
stupid
but
stuff.
see that. But all of that. See, I'm over that. That life is gone. You know what I mean? That's your ego talking. Right?
I agree. I agree.
So
I
that
agree.
is the problem. That is one of the problems with our society
Too
and
many of
us
us are
as
still
black
there.
men,
Right.
right?
Right.
We think we have something to prove to some people,
Mhm.
and
And that's what somebody said that you said he could have been high. Yeah, yeah. So
well, even if he was high, I mean,
right, if he wasn't,
even if he was high or he wasn't,
right.
it don't matter. The thing is,
Somebody
you
said,
know,
Kill said, Stiz, you were about to get into a fight.
yeah.
No, that was the old days. No, that was the old days. But I guess the random is though.
So
So
you
I
got to
mean,
rise above that, though.
right. So there are no. We don't fight over words anymore. I mean
Yeah,
that's a
we
good
do.
thing.
That's the problem. We do fight.
Too
Most
many of us
people do fight over words. See that's the problem.
Yeah.
See, we
yeah.
have to raise that. When I always talk about raising our consciousness, that's a part of it. You know what I mean? We have to start filling ourselves with love. When we fill ourselves with love and we love each other, you don't have to worry about that because because that takes the ego out of it. Because you can look at him like, oh brother, I ain't say nothing, my bad. And you keep it moving. You don't think nothing else about it.
True.
Because
true.
you saying that out of love, right?
No, you gotta be honest. Yo, I was hot. Yo, and like and this somebody said men learn to be mature, but that part was fucking with you was primal.
It's primal.
No, and he's right.
It's primal. It is primal.
But I guess you get that, and the key word in that sentence is men.
Right.
When we're young,
no,
you
women
know,
too. Women too.
No, I mean, I'm talking about. I was talking about as far as age wise or maturity level. You know, when we were boys or young men, we didn't have that. We didn't have that decision making capability. We just reacted. Because remember,
I'm not even going to say when I was young, Stace. I mean, a few years ago, like I would say that before my son was killed.
Wow.
Before I was in a different headspace.
Wow.
Oh man, you could get it. Like, you know what I mean? It don't take much. You know what I mean? That's why that's one of the reasons why I isolate myself from a lot of people. You know what I mean? You know, I didn't really go to clubs.
Yeah.
Doing that stuff because I don't have the temper for it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I was just talking to I was out with my man, he might be listening. And we were having this conversation. He said the exact same words. Like he said he avoids hanging out with some people because people that are still at that space will drag you into a bunch of nonsense.
Right.
And now and if it happens, don't get me wrong, if I'm out with Nike and you start running your mouth and now it's jumping off, you're not going to leave them. So now you're dragged into it. So like you said, to a certain extent, it makes you avoid rolling with some people because they're not in the right headspace.
See, I'm at the point where I'm all about trying to find the light. You know what I mean? I'm about finding that light. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And any darkness that try to fuck with that, I'm you know, I don't have time for it,
right.
And then if somebody tries to snuff out my light or not let my light shine, then I can't let their darkness shine.
Correct.
Right.
You know what? And I think the other thing now, somebody says, is it a fight if you put them out, if you put them to sleep real quick? Yeah, true. You're just knocking you out, you know, it wouldn't have been an issue. But now this is the other thing that I said. And again, this is my random, so we're gonna slide on. See, Shice should have came over because I know this probably him with the being all violent. You know, that's probably Shice, you know. But the other thing too, it said to me though, Nike, in this day and age, for that person to have been being so aggressive, unless, like they said, somebody said earlier, it was drugs or they were high or on something. To me, that says that's a person that don't feel like they have anything to lose in their life. Because how can you be? Well, I mean, or feel that they don't. Right. You're right. Because how can you approach somebody? You don't know who you're approaching.
Or he might have been strapped. You
and
don't
that
know.
too,
That's
right?
the thing.
Correct.
You
But
you,
even
you don't
but
know.
and again though, that's a person, and if that person is strapped and willing to be aggressive to a person like that, not knowing if that other person was strapped, that means that they don't care about being shot or they don't care about being locked up. You
Shai
know what I
said he
mean?
in the waiting room, but I don't see him.
He said he might be in another podcast waiting room.
He might be in the hospital. He in ER. Hey, Dave, where you at,
Put
Shai?
the glasses on, man. Yo, click on the link. Is the link out there tonight? Is the link
Yeah, I'm
in
gonna
there?
put it out there again.
Click on it. Get out of the
Shai said
waiting
he in
room
the
that
waiting
you in,
room.
Shice.
What
It's the
waiting room
wrong
you in,
waiting room. You know, get out of that waiting room. And we're gonna put the link. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go. There you go.
All right. There you go.
All right.
Hey, Shice, you were probably in the hospital.
Big
Get out
bro,
of that
what's
room.
up, man?
What's up, man? You in the wrong waiting room, Shice.
No, I was there, but I ain't hit the other button because I get
Oh,
hit.
Oh,
okay.
all right.
So I was
All right.
like
What's up, man?
in
Now,
purgatory.
back in the,
Yeah,
what we talking
that's
about,
right.
Shai. Now back when we used
Yeah.
to do what we used to do, things is a lot different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now that
What
I'm here trying to find a light. So I don't, I
the
try to
light?
distance myself from all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right,
So
right.
I'm on another, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to ascend, you know what I mean? So
Right. But what was your
I would
feedback on
say
this? Shice?
I wanted to say it depends on the day
What you mean? What you mean?
because I always said going back with Will and Chris Rock. I don't want to revisit that so much, but I'm like you just never know what somebody's going through on that day.
True.
So
True.
your words on that day, like, what could bring me out of character. Most of the time, if somebody say something crazy, I got my words. I'm like, oh, good brother,
Right.
fam.
Right.
right. Yeah.
I got my diffusing words.
Right.
And then
Right.
recently, I was in my head somewhere in the young boys. They was being young boys, like around the let out time, school let out time, and they was saying some slick shit, and I realized, oh, they playing with me.
Mm.
I put my phone in my bag, my work bag, and got in and Hulk smash mode. I just started staring them down, like,
Right.
Oh,
because
Shice.
I was no. I've been
Okay,
going through a lot of stuff, and we can talk about that another time. You
Okay.
on a bad day, bad energy. Don't. That's my point.
Mm.
You can't play with people because you don't
Right.
know what day ain't the day. Like somebody
Right.
say, not today. It
Right.
was that time.
Right.
It was that
Right.
time. Was like, not today. I
But
need.
see,
I might
Shai,
need to
you
knock
gotta
somebody's head off.
raise your
And
elevation.
you put
So
yourself in that
every
line of
day
fire.
ain't the
Look,
day.
So for all of us, because we just seen what happened in down South Street and what
Right.
happens in our city, we
That's
got to be
right.
on defense out here
Right.
because you don't
Right.
know if people got mental issues. They
Right.
high. They just goofies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you got to always remember, I just got to make it home.
And that was the last thing that I said. I think for somebody for him to have said that in an aggressive way. Now, don't get me wrong. He didn't put his hands
Oh,
on
he
me.
said in an aggressive way?
And that's how I felt, Shice, because again, like
That's
you
your
said,
ego
though,
talking, Steve.
because before that was unacceptable. If you don't know me, don't say it, because the response before would
Well,
have
you in
been
Fantasia. If you don't know me, don't talk to me.
I should have just sang that. You know?
And that would have diffused the whole situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but again, it is tough because let's face it, like you said, that's in there. That's still in there because that's who we were, and to a certain extent, like you just said, it's still there. So somebody pushing those wrong buttons. Now you might be able to, as Nike say, rise above it real quick, but your first reaction is like, whoa, wait a minute. You know what I mean? But like you said though, that's a person to respond that way. That's a person that if they're high up, they're high on something, there's mental issues, but they don't have anything to lose, or they don't feel like they have anything to lose, because nowadays you're taking your life in your own hands by being aggressive like that to somebody that you don't know.
We have to work on our de-escalation skills.
True.
Right.
We
True.
have to work on, you know how you say, Shice, like today ain't the day.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to fix yourself where every day is like
Right.
no day ain't the
Right.
day. Like
Right,
you know what
right,
I mean? Like
Well,
every day is love, man. You have to love every day. You can't wake up like, man, I got a
and
headache,
and
or
you asking
I had a
you
bad
asking
morning.
people
I
to
spilled
be
my coffee.
you
and
asking
this and
people to
that,
have
this and that.
superhuman abilities.
Right.
It's
Yeah. I mean,
not.
because I mean,
It's
that's
not
the goal, Nike.
superhuman.
Because
It's,
if
that's
I'm
the
in my
goal, right?
if I'm in my normal state of mind, normal mood, normal energy, I'd be like, "Good brother, you have a blessed day.
Right.
Peace out,
Right.
King."
Right.
And I'd probably be
So
kind of
that's what I'm saying.
sarcastic and say, "Fuck
Right.
out of here, nigga." That's my way of saying, "Be great, King." Ain't
Right,
nobody
right.
talking
Right.
to you, brother.
Right.
That's
Right.
just my
But
way
what
of
I'm
playing
saying
that
is,
off. Because in my
what I'm
mind, I
saying
would
is, we
always
just
look at
have.
people and be like, "You don't want this."
Right.
Because
Right.
my
Right.
ego is intact, but like, you don't want this.
But
Right.
that's
So
what I'm
Right.
my
saying. We
ego's
have
not
to work. We
being
have to
played
work
with.
on.
Right.
We have to work on taking our ego out of it. That's what I'm saying. We have to work on. Uh,
No, but ego is
just
also
working out of
ego is
love, man.
also ego is also to the point like you know you good. You're not gonna do nothing to
Right.
me.
Right.
That's
Right.
ego
Right.
too.
Right. And but you know what though, and but then what I guess basically what Terry is saying though, if I mean it's kind of hard to say that now. If you didn't have an ego, I mean, but then the problem with that though, Nike, if you don't have an ego, you're gonna be bullied around. So to a certain extent, you need that ego because part of that ego is giving you the confidence, like Shai said, to say, I could walk away from this because you don't want none of this. That's a part of the ego also.
I am the light, but I will destroy the darkness. Believe it.
Huh?
I am the light.
Bob Marley on us.
He was the
I
monk,
will
he was
destroy the darkness. So if you come to me with foolishness,
No, that wasn't the book. That was from the book of Marley.
I'm gonna give you the light.
I mean, right.
I will destroy you before I let you destroy me. I'm still that dude.
Right.
But my ego is over. I put my ego and I lock my ego away.
Right.
I'm
right.
still that same dude.
No, and I understand. I understand. Right. You
Right.
know, but to what Shai said though, that's partly inhuman because we all have bad days. You know, what if you
imagine I'm on my phone.
You don't have to have bad days.
I mean, but
no, you gonna have bad days.
Is that
I'm on my phone? It's only certain people that can take you there, right?
Right.
You're on the phone in public. You going back and forth with your woman. You in a bad headspace, and somebody walk up to you and say something goofy. And your first mind is to snap on them. Like, get the if I'm on the phone having an argument, and you walk up to me and say, "Who you talking to?"
Down. Right.
In that moment, I might say, "Get the fuck out my face."
Right.
Well, here's the thing, Shai.
We're not saying it was right.
My light was off right there. I ain't paid Pico that day.
Right.
if you have somebody or something that's lowering your vibration, you gotta let it go.
Yeah, but Nike, we're not talking about somebody approaching you. We're not saying this is a part of your life. Like we said, you know, like using Shai's example. You on the phone just found out that your best friend, I don't want to say anything like that. You found out some terrible news on the phone.
Right.
Somebody walks up to you and pushes that button. We're not saying that it's right, but when you were in that headspace, you know, it's human to react. Like, yo, whoa, you know what I mean? You know, and again, not saying it is right.
I understand what you're saying.
And the goal
is to do what you're
doing.
It's up to us to try to get to the point.
To try
not to be not to be human, but not to let our emotions take over our consciousness.
Agree.
And that's who we are 80, and that's who you are 80, 85, 90% of the time. But you can fall off.
Correct.
You can.
We all fall off.
You
Absolutely.
can. We all can.
There's been times I lost my temper. Right. It's been times I lost my temper and I'm embarrassed by it. So now I got to go back to that person and be like,
let me ask you, why are you embarrassed?
Because I lost my temper.
Because
I lost my temper. I lost everything. I lost everything that I practiced and believed in.
Right. Exactly. And that's my point. We all got to get
I think we all agree. I think we all agree. We just saying, as human beings, we ain't gonna always hit our marks.
Correct. Right. Correct. All right,
let's get to these topics, man, because we only got a couple more. We
nice.
like halfway through
the
joint.
All right, y'all. I'll let y'all, man.
Nice, thanks, man.
I'm listening, but I'll get.
Stay on, Shai. Stay on.
Oh yeah, you want to? All right. Pick a topic, Shai. Pick a topic, man. All right, I'm gonna read them out. What is actual truth? Financial strategies to protect your marriage. What are you willing to do? And if you die today, Which one you want to hit real
What-
quick, Shai? While you on?
That what you willing to do? That's vague.
Okay, what are you with the state that we're in now? You know, this country, I guess our folk. What are you willing to do? You know, we should be asking that question. What are we willing to do? What are you willing to do?
All right, I like
to
that
help
one.
us?
I like that.
Okay.
One.
All right. So what is your response to that, man?
When
Shice.
I think, and I've been saying this for a minute. Every plan, every movement is already out there.
Mm.
Join up with like-minded people.
Mm.
So if somebody want to boycott people in the neighborhood, there's too many liquor stores in the neighborhood, we want to get them out of there, I'm with that. I'm willing to support what am I willing to do? Support anybody that's making moves for the betterment of God, family, community. I don't think I have to start nothing. I don't think I have to be Malcolm, Marcus, or Martin. We need foot soldiers. We need more number 2s and 3s, 4s, and 5s. What I'm willing to do, anybody that's doing something, I'm willing to line up with them. And that's what I've been doing for maybe the last 10 years.
Nice.
You ask me to come, I'm coming.
Nice.
You ask me you tell me you're doing something, you got a mentoring program, you got a workshop, you want me to coach basketball, you want me to come show up and do a poem, I've been doing that. Whatever you want me to do, that's what I'm willing to do.
Now listen to this.
Link up with everybody and anybody is for the betterment of Black folks, God, family, and community.
Let me say this though. Really what you're saying, Shice, is that in order to be a good leader, you have to be a follower. You know what I mean?
You hit it.
It's not always about.
We always say not enough. Too many Indians, not enough. Too many chiefs, not enough Indians.
Right.
I'm a leader, but I don't need to lead if you already doing it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and we talked about this one time before. I think that's part of the problem that, and you hit on something that was interesting. You said, everything, and I don't want to use that because everything is a strong word, but most things that need to be done are being done somewhere already.
Everything is already done. You got people that's against gun violence in the neighborhood. You got people that's fighting for to change curriculums in the school system.
Mentoring programs, right.
Mentoring program. You got people that's want to teach young people entrepreneurship.
Right.
Almost anything you can think of, somebody's doing it.
Right.
So if you can link up with them and help them do it better, that could be a thing.
Right.
Or just support what they're doing.
Yo, that's nice. That's a good one.
I got some. I agree with that to a certain extent, because I think we all need to be leaders. I think we because like you said, just like we got this Black Dollar blackout, right? That is something that we came up with. That is not something that we borrowed from somebody else. But if we can get people to come to our cause, you know what I'm saying? But everybody has the chance to do something. But when we say that, what are you willing to do? Like, I think sometimes we all sit back and we wait on other people.
But no, but think about what Shai said though. He said that he's willing to join things that are already happening. So it's not sitting back. He said, if you want to, and actually, like, as Shai said, most things that need to be done are being done already. Black Dollar Blackout, AKA, is boycott. It's a boycott. That's being done already.
Right. Who's
people
boycotting what right now?
I mean, I don't know the answer to that. I mean, Shai might have,
That's
more
my
steeping.
point.
What did you say?
Who's boycotting something right now? If you really wanted to know the answer to those things, I mean, you can look it up, like you said before. I mean, you can look it up and find out the current boycotts that are taking
right,
place.
But I guess my point is, if everybody just sat back,
but who's sitting back though? Nobody's saying sitting back.
You're missing what I'm saying. You said that we should wait and join other people. If everybody did that,
didn't say wait. I say
go.
go.
No, see,
he said, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? Link up with anybody.
It has nothing to
do
with
now.
But if those
people waiting,
you
right?
said link up with anybody, but if those people that you're linking up with waited to link up with somebody else,
see, but you're saying wait, Mike. Who's saying anything about waiting? What we're saying is, if
I also said that's what I've been doing for the last 10 years is linking up with people who already are doing things.
Right, right.
They on the ground.
I think you're missing my point. I'm not saying that you won't link up with people. What I'm
But you
saying is,
wait.
if other people were to wait to link up with other people, then you wouldn't have anything to link up with. You get what I'm saying? Like there has to be leaders in order for there to be followers.
We know that. We know that. I'm also saying I am a leader. I'm also saying I am a leader, but I don't only want to lead.
I don't have to be the figurehead with everything.
When Stace and me and Sam started our mentoring program, that was our thing. That was our thing.
That's not what you said at first. That's why I was trying to.
That's exactly what I said.
Like, right. Because
exactly what I said. I've been doing it. I said I've been leading. I'm a leader, but I don't wait. I'm not only a one man. I'm linking up. Give you this. When Malcolm left the nation, Malcolm apologized to everybody and said, I'm willing to work with I'm willing to forget everything that was said about me, and I'm asking forgiveness for everything I said about other people. I'm only here now to work with anybody. And Malcolm still had his own things. But he said, I'm willing to work with anybody that's for the betterment of our people. So that's something we ain't got to invent the wheel. It's already been done.
And that's what
we just forget that is we love, like I say, we love Malcolm, but nobody want to practice Malcolm. Right. That's what Malcolm said.
That's my point, Shice. We do need leaders.
Nobody's saying we're not, but what he's saying is that. But Knight, and remember what I said though. I said what Shice is saying, that in order to be a leader, you have to also know how to follow. Because when you're in it and you start linking up with people that are doing things, you then get a better insight as far as a void. Now, if you see a void and something that needs to be addressed, then you start.
You hitting it, Stace.
You
I actually said I will come to your program, right?
Right.
And me as a leader, you can enhance somebody, because somebody gonna already know that you're a leader and say, good brother, start that over there.
Right, exactly.
We're already doing this. And then you say, well, are y'all doing anything with the arts with the young people in the community?
Exactly.
You gonna start that.
Correct.
We're mentoring. We're mentoring to stop gun violence. We don't have, but we doing this. We teaching kids how to be barbers. That's cool.
Right.
Oh, we got a basketball league. That's cool. And then when you come in and link up with people that's already doing something, you're going to bring what you got, your talent.
Correct.
Somebody will say, I need somebody to do that. Right. Like I linked up with the youth advocate program, and they said the lady was leaving, and she's like, I need a man to do this, to do anger management with these kids.
Wow.
So she gave it to me. So I came in as an Indian and wound up being a chief. Right. But I didn't start my own thing. But
listen to this though. Listen to this. Now you said that's what you've been doing for the last 10 years. And I'm gonna tie it to something you said earlier, Knight. You said we have to learn how to put our egos to the side. And I think a lot of time that's what stops us from joining organization, because we have egos saying this thing that my will that I'm going to reinvent is going to be better than the other will. But you never rode on the first wheel, so you don't know if it's working or not. You know what I mean? But our egos tell us I can do it better. So then we go and start something that's already running. And then what happens? Now you got 1 million people doing 1 million different programs differently, rather than one program with 1 million members, and which makes it stronger. So again, I just think that
I agree with that. One program makes it stronger. I think the more programs you have, the more people you reach. Then as a whole, when you reach all of these different people and you all are going after the same goal, then I think that's more beneficial than to have one program where everybody is not. You know what I mean?
See, but I think though, Nike, and I'm not disagreeing with you. No, yeah, I was gonna say I'm not saying I disagree with you,
because we're not a monolithic people. So one program is not gonna fix everybody.
But remember though, we all know though that a movement with 1 million people is a little different story regarding a bunch of millions, a million movement with one person in each. You know what I mean? You know, there's a difference.
Yeah, but that's
You still need a
that's
movement.
silly, Stace. That's
No,
a
no,
silly
no, no,
statement.
no. But like, I mean, of course, I'm extrapolating, but you get my point. You know, instead of you having all these different people doing one thing, you know, doing the same thing. Keep the things that are like, keep those together. Now, if someone wants to branch off and do something different, that's one thing. The one time that I would disagree with that, look at the NAACP. We're having a voter registration drive. We need to do the same thing in Detroit. We need to do now that's different because now we need to spread out to reach different people. So now that's when you spread out. You know what I mean? I can see it. That you don't understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I got you.
You know, but I agree though. I just think that, you know, our ego, I think too many times tells us, okay, as soon as I learn about something, now I got to start a new one. Instead of saying what's out there, let me link up.
Let me give you an idea. Gun violence is prevalent in Philadelphia, from Frankfurt to North Philly to West Philly. So if you had people working on gun violence under not one banner, but somebody doing it in Frankfurt, somebody doing it in South Philly, somebody doing it in North Philly, and reaching as many people they can, but they all should be knowing they all should be in the same accord.
Correct.
The same way we should have chapters of people dealing with the cleanup of Philadelphia. Because you want the city clean and you want it safe.
Right.
That's two things. You get rid of chaos if it's clean and it's safe. That shows an ethics and the ethos. Now we say, now what we doing? We got to deal with the education and empowerment of these people.
Right.
But if they ain't clean and they ain't safe, how we even get to education and empowerment?
Right. That's right. Yeah, I agree. All right, so Nike, so the question to you then, what are you willing to do?
I'm doing it.
Okay.
That's what this whole thing is about. I'm doing it. Like you know how I operate, and it's been like this since I was young. I don't just say, I don't sit back and wait. I don't say I'm going to do this. I do this. Like that's what this whole Real Brothers was about. Like it was about us bringing ourselves to the masses. You know, showing people how to be real men. Showing our community how we function as black men. You know, I'm actually doing what it is that I'm supposed to be doing.
And
I don't have any problems with joining other. Matter of fact, I'm in, I guess, about 10, 15 different groups right now.
Right.
But the thing is, I still felt it was pertinent for us to continue to start and continue doing what we have been doing. Because even if, like, we are, like you say,
Sykes with his hat on, nice.
Yeah. Even if we are, one of a million different groups, right?
Right.
We might not have a million people in our group, but we touching somebody.
Right. Absolutely. Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody is hearing what we got to say. You know what I mean? Somebody is getting something from what we talk about, and that's all in being a leader. You know what I mean? That's all in. You might not like. I don't claim to be like. I don't do this for money. I don't do this for fame. I do this because I do this. I enjoy doing this.
I think that
when I do learn something, I feel it's my duty. I feel it's my absolute duty, because I was chosen to do this, to take whatever knowledge that I get and put it out in the universe.
Right. And you know what? I think the key word, and both of you said it in your conversations, the key word is do. Everyone has something to do. Everyone has a role to play. It could be behind the scenes. It could be in front of the scenes. I'll use
the key word in that sentence right there. That? What are you willing to do?
Do exactly right. And again, like you said, you don't always have to be a chief. You need Indians. Indians are what make the movement work. So
but you have to do something. You can't just sit back complaining about gun violence.
Agreed.
You can't sit back and keep complaining about your community. You
Right.
can't sit back and keep complaining about our young folks. You
Right.
can't keep
You have to do something.
complaining about this, that, and the third. You have to be, instead of complaining about it, get up off the couch, turn the TV off, and find out how you can make a difference.
Right.
Everybody
We
can
got-
make a difference.
Everybody.
We got, I forget the last time I've seen the number for African Americans in Philadelphia, but we're the biggest population and the issues happen. And I keep saying to myself, 300, 500 good brothers that will actually go out and do foot patrol, like town watches, to keep it safe and clean up.
Exactly.
You know how powerful that would be for our women and our
We should do
children
that.
and
Why
our
don't we
elderly
do that,
to
Shice?
see men every time we talk.
Let's do it.
That's the problem with
Let's
that's
not
the
talk about
that's
it.
the
Let's
thing.
do it. Let's
Every
let's
time,
pick a day.
let me finish.
Okay.
Every time I join one of these groups and whatever, and everybody got their ideas, I'm always there like, are we going to do this?
Right. And when?
Like, everybody will do everything else, but I'm like, yo, I think we need to do this. You can't make people do anything.
Right.
You can
No,
suggest it. You
we
can
should
push for it. You can push for it, but that's going to tell people they put the bag because everybody's either working, and when they finish working, they looking for a good time. That's telling me you as a grown man from 25 to 50, 55, healthy body, able men. Oh, when you're not working, put your boots on, sit in your car and drive around. All wear this, we could be all wearing Real Brother hats and logos, so everybody know who we are. When they see us, they know, oh, you're out here making sure it's clean and it's safe. Oh, let's get this trash up right here. And while we get this trash up, our eyes is open to see, okay, everybody good out here. All the ladies is good, all the children is good. And our name and you're known. So what are you willing to do? Are we willing to men? Now this is a challenge or something I want to throw out to our brothers while we talk about boycotting the blackout. Are we willing to get out, come out our house, maybe sacrifice some of the economics that we chasing, give some time back to our community to make sure it's clean and safe? Can we be an actual physical presence?
We should do that.
No, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. When like you said, you're a leader, right? You just had a good idea, right? So lead on that. Let's do that. Don't just say we should do this. No, we should do that. Let's go from
I also just told you I put that out many a times.
Let me finish. We need to stop going from what we should do. That's what I'm saying. We got to stop what we should do and go to when are we going to do it? Let's do it. When are we going to do it? Let's set it up. You get what I'm saying? Like we can't keep that, and that was what I was. That's my point.
I'm telling you, I put it on the table. I've been to many town hall meetings in communities and put it on the table. And people may say, yes, let's do it. Now you ask me individually, when I lived in North Philly, we set policy in our neighborhood. Nobody broke in cars, nobody rolling nobody's house, nobody violence. No, we ain't fighting. It sounds like broke a fight. Of course I did. No, we ain't doing that.
Right. Yeah.
So we made sure our neighborhood was clean and safe. And we're talking about 15 to 17. Diamond and Nars, one of the rough neighborhoods. By the time I'm in position to be an elder in that neighborhood, I put myself out. Now we talking about where I live now and where I used to live. Yo, y'all got to move with that. I'm definitely about a one-man army. Don't play me like my man get off my lawn. I'm Debo who get off my lawn. Yo, y'all have to move.
Yeah.
But I'm looking like, why am I the one telling these young boys to move?
Yeah. I mean,
y'all seen them before I seen them.
And both of you are making good points. I mean, again, it's doing as Nike was saying. What's to stop somebody from saying or us from saying, all right, this is the date, this is where we're gonna meet, and this is what we're gonna do.
And that's my point.
I understand. All right,
we're gonna use Real Live Brothers platform to set something up.
Well, you
find
know
a
what? There
space
it is. Okay.
and
Well,
put it out.
all right.
See
Well,
who
there it is.
show up.
Okay. Well, there it is then. All right. Well, then you put it out there. Okay. When? You know what? Well, then you know what, Shice? The
Set it
three
up.
of us.
That's what
Listen.
I'm saying.
The
Like,
three of us. Listen to this. The three of us. Once we get off, we'll you know, or maybe if not today, if not today, you know, because we all have our group text. We'll start a conversation. This is
I know
June.
cats in the projects, no
I was gonna
cats
say
on
that.
mansion.
And
Let's put
we'll
it
choose
all
one
up.
area. We'll choose one area. We'll get there and start in one spot. Even if it's one day, one night, a week or something, we'll start it. Fair enough. We got a group. Okay, there it is. There it is.
there it is. There
All right.
it is.
Hey, Shice, man. We'll be talking in a little bit. Yo, thanks for joining
All
us.
right, King.
Now we kicking you off, Captain.
Peace.
All right, Shice. Be safe,
All
man.
right, man. All right.
Nice.
That's pretty
That's
good,
good.
man.
That's
I'm
good.
looking forward to that now.
Yeah.
Like I've said,
Yeah.
man, I'm
Yeah.
all about
Yeah.
you know, it's all about actionable items, man. We can't
Yeah.
that's why, you know, we do need leaders because
Right.
we can't just keep saying what we need to do or what somebody need to do. That somebody is us.
Okay.
You get
All right.
what
Well,
I'm
then
saying?
listen. Well, we put it out there now. It's in the ethos. So
Right.
that's what we'll do. We'll pick a date. We're planning on doing this in July sometimes. We'll meet this place, stand around, whether we're gonna walk around, just walk around the block, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. That's what we'll
Right.
do. All right.
Yeah.
Stay tuned,
right.
y'all. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
All right.
Because with that being said, once we come up with this, we're gonna be canvassing everyone to join us also.
Yep.
And we'll talk about what we're gonna do, but I envision standing around, whether it's walking around the neighborhood, just just saying what's up, something simple. We're not talking about anything major. It's a present.
we should walk from like
All right, we'll nail that down.
we'll
nail that down.
get it together. All right,
We'll
let's
nail
get to the topic that we didn't get to last week.
Oh, okay.
Because you know we
winding it down.
definitely
All right.
we getting close to and we got a few that we didn't get.
So
to
we got
yet.
two. We're gonna have to push to next week. So we got the one that we didn't touch on last week, Nike, was what is actual truth.
All right.
All right, what you got on that?
All right. What is actual truth? You know that saying that says truth? I always say I always had the saying that truth don't come in half sizes, right?
Right.
But after I analyzed that statement, I kind of gotta pull back on that a little bit.
Right now, that's interesting.
You know what I mean? Because truth is actually in the eye of the beholder.
Your truth. Okay.
Right.
Well, truth. You know what?
You know
That's
what?
a good distinction. There's a difference between truth and facts.
Right.
You can have you
Well-
can have your own truth.
Well,
No.
even-
You can
even
have your
some
own
facts
truth,
have
but you can't
different
have your own
truth to it.
facts. You can have your
Right.
own truth, but you
can
can't have your own
truth, but
facts.
you can't have your own facts. Right.
Right. But go ahead, elaborate.
And so what I was saying is like, just for instance, your truth might be different from my truth, and
It
with
is
in a
different.
lot of cases, in a lot of
because
cases,
we're different
it
people
is.
with different experiences.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because there's everything has different levels, everything has different observations, everybody sees things from a different perspective,
Absolutely.
right? Because we live in what's called a fractal hologram, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we each perceive, our perceptions come from different angles. Right?
Absolutely. Based on your
So I
experience.
won't we can look at the same picture
Mhm.
and see two totally different interpretations of that picture.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's not that my interpretation is true and your interpretation is not true. Your interpretation is just that, your interpretation.
Right.
You
Right.
get what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
So that's that, and that's the same thing with what we were discussing earlier, like with religion, right?
Mhm,
Same
mhm.
thing. And that's why I had to come to a better understanding, or I had to clarify, because it's not that I don't believe in religion, because each person has their religious belief, and their religious belief is their truth.
Is their truth?
Right?
Absolutely right.
And
That is
I'm
their
not
truth.
saying that a Christian's truth is just not my truth. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
And that's fine. And that's fine.
Right, and that's fine. And I don't knock people for having a different truth than I have.
Mhm.
You get what
You
I'm saying?
can't. The same way no
Right.
one can knock you for your truth.
Well, I get knocked for my truth all the time.
But that's
when-
not right though. I
because
mean, no one should.
I do, because, and I get this a lot from Christians. When I say what I believe, they've told me how I'm wrong and point me to the Bible, and I should believe this and I should believe that. But that that is, if I were to do that to a Christian, then they would be like, well, you can't, it gets into a whole thing. But what I believe that there's, truth is truth and light is light. And however you manifest that truth is how you manifest it. However you manifest your light is how you manifest it. If you
Agreed.
manifest darkness, you manifest darkness. You know what I mean? So we all have our own what's the Christian saying? We all have our own cross to bear.
Absolutely. And I mean,
Right.
and you know what, like, and again, I think I agree with what you said 100%. Your truth is based on your experiences. If I said that this happened to me as a kid, therefore I'm afraid of Freddy Krueger, you might not agree with it, but you can't say that that's wrong, because my experience dictates my interaction with those forces or what have you. So
Right.
again, even someone saying that you should believe in it, they can say they disagree with you. Like, I'll say that all the time. I disagree with that position, but I can't say that it's wrong, because that's
Right.
you're coming to a
Right.
conclusion based on everything that you've experienced in life.
Right. And that's a good point, because if I've researched something and I've read about it and I've studied it and I've looked into it thoroughly, right?
Right.
And then I bring that position or that
Perspective.
that perspective. If you haven't read what I read, or if you haven't studied what I studied, your perspective is going to be totally different.
Could be totally different. Right. Right.
Not that your perspective is wrong. Well, it's just that our perspectives are different, because
Different,
I
right,
have
absolutely.
I have a different
You pull up
I
a
have
different
a
piece of
different-
information. Yeah.
I have different information than what you have on a certain subject. Not
Right.
you, but you know what
I
I mean.
understand, yeah.
A person.
Anyone. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right,
You know what,
right,
Nike? I
yeah.
think that if and listen to this though, and this goes back to where we first started. That is ego that tells us that we're right and somebody else is wrong. I think that we'd be much better off in life if we can all govern ourselves that way. Like you said earlier, if we can put our ego to the side and recognize the fact that while that person is saying something I don't agree with, that is their truth. That is
But-
them coming to that conclusion based on what they know, and accept that for who they are. Now that's not to say if we're having a discussion, I can't say, well, this is mine, or even attempt to make you see things my way. But if you're holding tight and fast on your beliefs, even though I might walk away disagreeing with it, I still have to accept the fact that that is your truth.
Right. But the thing is, I agree with you to a certain extent, but I disagree with you about the ego part, because the quest for knowledge
Mhm.
has nothing to do in most cases with ego, right? It's the quest for knowledge, and when you obtain a certain amount of knowledge, it's not actually ego, it's just that you have a clearer understanding of a certain subject.
Well, see, but I
And
think,
that's not ego.
but the
That's just,
conversation changed. I
it's
think.
the difference between ego, knowledge, and.
But listen to this
and-
though. I think the difference is if you're talking about facts. If we're having a discussion and we're talking about something that's factual, and I'm factually wrong, and you're factually right, it's not your
Most of the
ego
time.
saying.
no bullshit.
I said that. I said
No,
that the wrong way. I got you. But if you're factually right and I'm factually wrong, you're right. That is not your ego saying, Stace, you're wrong. That's you saying, here are the facts. That's not
Right.
open for discussion.
Right. That's not.
But
that's
if we're
not
talking
ego.
about
That
right,
is-
no,
that
right.
is-
That's different. I'm not. That's
Right.
not ego. That's different. Where ego comes into play when you're if you're talking about someone's truth. Again, when you're talking about someone's truth, that's not, you're not talking about facts. Someone's
I'm gonna tell you
truth.
what ego is.
No,
I'm
but
gonna tell you
listen.
what ego
Let me finish
All right.
this. Where we started off though, when we talking about someone's truth is based on their experience, we're not talking about facts. We're talking about, again, like the example that I use, that I'm afraid of Freddy Krueger because my brother used to scare me when I was young. That, that's not facts. That's my experience. So
Right.
your ego would tell you, well, you're wrong. You shouldn't feel that way. That's not a
Right.
discussion about factual items. So
Right,
that's
but when
the difference.
Right. But you're true. That's correct. Somebody that might be in the ocean who got stung by a jellyfish might be scared to get back in the ocean, whereas
Correct.
somebody who never got stung by a jellyfish or got
Correct.
hurt is like, why are you tripping?
Exactly. Right.
But
That's
when it comes to facts, there is no ego.
Agreed.
Because
Facts are facts.
when knowledge, when you have a certain knowledge and understanding of a topic and you have factual evidence, ego. Now I'm explaining to what ego is. Ego is disputing those facts without having any contradictory information to dispute it with. When you just say, "Nah, I don't believe that," but you don't have any facts of why you don't believe that, that's ego.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
I do.
When somebody says, "Oh, I
Well, I don't
researched
know.
this,
Even with
that,
that,
and the
though, Nike,
third,"
but even with that being said, though, for someone to say, "I don't know if I agree with that," that they're just saying you haven't proven your point to the point where I'm ready to say I agree with you. So I don't even know if that's ego. I mean, okay, put it
But
this
if
way.
you- but look, if what I'm saying is, if you disagree just for the sake of disagreement,
Mhm.
without anything to back up your disagreement or why you disagree, then that is ego. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
I
just
do understand.
when you disagree just because, man, I don't believe that shit. And then, like, a person has actual fact and evidence and something to back that up.
Okay,
then
okay. I understand what you're saying.
You
I
understand
understand
what
what
I'm
you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. If I can prove to you that 1 + 1 = 2, and I can count them to you in your face, and you say I don't believe that, okay, I can run with that.
right.
But again,
Right.
you have to be able to prove it. It has to be unrefutable facts. It has to be unrefutable facts, not something that somebody got onto the Google machine and said.
Right, but that's
This is
what I'm
what I
saying.
have.
Unrefutable. When you just deny it, you have to refute it with something. If you just to deny something without refuting it with your own evidence, or without refuting it with your own
I don't know if I agree with
knowledge
that.
about a subject,
I
right?
understand what you're saying, right?
Then how can you
No.
how can
I
you
disagree with that.
refute it?
I
How
disagree
can
with
you refute it without knowledge about
because
a certain topic?
that's like saying somebody brings something up to you and saying believe this, and I say,
No,
well,
I didn't say believe. It's not
okay,
about belief.
well, listen to this. Somebody comes up to you and say this is fact, and I look at it and say, I don't know if I agree with that, and then the person saying, well, if you can't prove that it's not truth, then your ego is in the way. No, I maybe I just didn't go do the
Right,
research
because your
myself.
ego is standing in
I don't know if
between
I
your
agree.
understanding.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with
Why?
that. I don't know if I agree
So
with
you're
that.
saying if you just be like, nah, man, I don't believe it.
You-
That's not
you-
ego.
The reason, no, I think the difference is, well, this is the difference. This is the difference. I think that, again, I think that if it's, even with that unrefutable, what they say, Don't let them
Don't
talk.
let them talk you in circles.
Exactly. That's what we try to do.
Yeah.
If we're talking about unrefutable, Nike, I think that word itself is
Irrefutable.
subjective.
Yeah.
Irrefutable. It's subjective because you can say, well,
It's not subjective. If you have irrefutable facts,
no,
that means they're irrefutable.
Nike, again, it's not too many things that Nike. Listen to this though. Let me listen to this.
That's the definition
No,
of
Nike,
irrefutable.
you're not listening. There are not too many things. I mean, there's some things that you can basically say this is a fact. There's some things that you can basically prove. You know, again, if you're coming with something that an article, and you're saying that, you know, one scientist said that, I don't know if that's going to automatically be deemed as fact. That's where it gets a little gray. Because I think in this day and age,
why does that get gray? If a scientist,
listen to this. I'm gonna respond to that. In this day and age, that's the problem that we have when they call stuff fake news and all that other kind of stuff. In this day and age, you have scientists on both sides of a lot of different arguments. So now you have to go with, okay, what side are 80% of the scientists in? Because you're gonna still have you still have some people out there, some scientists saying that there is no global warming or the coronavirus was fake. You still have people out there saying it, Nike. You do, and you know you
don't have credible people saying that.
See, credible. That word credible.
Listen for a second.
You're proving my point. That word credible is subjective. That's what I'm saying. I mean, facts are hard to prove.
Scientific community, before they put stuff out, they have to have stuff peer reviewed. They just can't just throw shit out all willy-nilly.
Before we came on, you just said, you know, we were just talking about the coronavirus, and you said things that went against the peer-reviewed science. Before we went on.
Right. I don't trust it.
But listen, now you're contradicting yourself.
But I have reasons not to. But I have reasons not to trust it.
But now you're contradicting yourself. You just said that scientists and things before they put it out, they have to be peer reviewed. You have 90% of the scientists on one side saying that shot and all that other kind of stuff was good, and now you have 10% saying I don't agree with it or something else, and you're on the side with the 10%. That's my point exactly.
But listen to what True Voice X said.
Oh, that's okay.
If people believe your untruth, it becomes a truth when they consider to have quote irrefutable facts. Brainwashing can destroy all, which is true. So just because everybody agrees on a certain topic, that doesn't make it true.
Correct.
Especially if you have evidence and facts pointing in another direction, which they do have, if you're willing to look at it.
Okay. All right, man. This is a good one. Now
I didn't say when we were talking about the coronavirus, I didn't say I didn't believe in it just because, or no, fuck that. I just don't believe in it. I told you why.
Right,
I told you the reasoning that I had behind it, and I told you the facts behind what I said about what I saw, what I read to you from that paper, and that came from the pharmacy. So what I'm saying is, I don't just deny shit just like, nah, I don't believe that. You know what I mean? Right. I do have a certain level of information to form my hypothesis. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. All right, yo, we went a little bit over, but this was a good one. Thanks for yeah, no, it was cool though. True Voice X, what's up? What's going on? All right, so Nike, in closing, man, what you got, man?
Hey, we're gonna get to those other two topics definitely next week.
Right.
You know, we kind of been getting some good random topics, and so you know, that's cool too. That's a good thing.
Yep.
I hope y'all guys enjoyed the conversation. I just want to let y'all know that June the 11th is slowly approaching. We only got another week, so start stocking up. Fill your gas tanks up. Fill your shopping cart, your cabinets up, and then we're gonna try to get this Black Dollar Blackout rolling. Everybody listening to this, tell a friend, tell a neighbor,
Please do.
tell somebody, spread the word, and hopefully we'll be able to make the change that we're looking to see.
Be the
We want to
change.
get
Right.
we want to get this. We want to get something to. We want to get some legislation on this gun violence. We want to get some legislation on these this police violence. Hey, go to our website,
Like this supposed to be closing, man.
realbroslive.com/Black Dollar Blackout, and check out what we're trying to do. And once again, everybody, love is the new black.
That's right. And
So above, so below.
you add more stuff to it.
As above, as below. Right.
The ditto once again to everything my man TL said. Like to thank Shice for coming in and joining us today. Thank you for all the comments also, because as you see, when you put those comments in, it gives us other positions or other ideas to ponder.
Yeah.
Right, other points of views, and we love that. I mean, it's all about dialogue. So again, we appreciate you for tuning in. Don't forget, tomorrow or the day after, you'll be able to catch the replay of this on all of the major platforms. We still need you to get onto YouTube and subscribe. I think we had about 86. We want to get that up to about 1,000. So we need about another 900 and 900
Oh,
and
hey,
16.
our Apple podcast. Way
Nice.
up.
Feel good. Nice. Okay.
We got.
Okay.
We getting
So,
there.
we still need you to do that. Well, listen to this though, Nike. We said that we were doing this because, as we said earlier, we saw a void, we saw a need. But so we're gonna be doing it regardless. But we still like to get the subscriptions up, So
Right.
please do us that favor. Hop on to YouTube and subscribe. So again, we hope you enjoyed yourself. We hope you saw some of your positions and our positions. Hopefully next time you won't be shy. You'll join us. And we'll see you back here next week. Same place. Love y'all.
Love y'all.